Hello everyone, it's me, your girl, Lady Moon. How are you doing? This is going to be the beginning of my series where I will review most of the games that I've played on my Twitch, which should be linked down below with all of my other social media, so if you want to follow me there, send me your memes, send me your dog and cat pictures. I'll also put a link to my Discord. If you would also like to join there, you'll get notifications for when I go live and any other important updates that usually happen around this time. So without further ado, let's go into our first review today, which is going to be Shadow of the Colossus, which is actually my first game that I streamed on Twitch, which I will say I have never played the game, and originally it was for the PS2. I did have the PS2, but I never had this specific game, so I decided to give it a try because it was free with the PS Plus. So let's get on to our review, shall we? Again, our story begins with this boy called Wander, who enters into a forbidden land with his horse, and alongside him he's also carrying this maiden. We find out that the girl's name is Mono and is placed against an altar, which is supposed to be sacred. So we don't know specifically what happened to Mono, but she either has been cursed or she has said to be cursed. So the voices who are in the temple also tell us that in order for Mono, the girl, in order to be resurrected, Wander has to go out and slay the different Colossus of the land in order to restore her soul. However, there's also another secret that isn't told until much later, where in order to revive the girl, not only is the souls of the Colossus needed, but also Wander has to give up his physical body, which we see at the end. So throughout the whole entire game, we go out and scavenge into the land in order to find different Colossus. Each of the Colossus is designated in a specific area and in a specific region. I personally think that all of the regions are beautifully done. They have luscious greens, and a lot has been put into the landscape and the music of each Colossus, and I would say it is very aesthetically pleasing. It actually does remind me of Breath of the Wild. Obviously this game came out way before, but I wouldn't be surprised if Breath of the Wild actually got their inspiration for their game from this game, because it was beautifully made, and the PS4 remake, the HD one, is absolutely gorgeous. I will tell you, if you want a game that you want to relax and you want to take in the atmosphere and you want something that's chill, I highly recommend this game. It's very beautiful. You'll have a wonderful time. The story is there, you just have to read a little bit more into it, and apparently it's connected to a couple of more games, so if you want to go more into the lore, I would highly recommend it. So after killing each of the Colossus, we find out that every single time there is a different pillar of light that erects from the ground and into the sky. I think this was actually beautifully done, and if you actually pay a visit to any of the Colossus that you've defeated during the game and you go back and see their bodies, you see that their bodies are completely decayed or they're falling apart, and honestly it makes you feel bad that you've destroyed these wonderful creatures that were built from nature, and you just feel really bad. The first time I encountered one of the Colossus, I was like, wow, it's very beautiful. How could I be such a horrible person and try to take it down? And then after that, once I went back and saw the damage that I caused, I felt so much regret. It gives you this feeling that you're just like, wow, should I have really done this? Is a girl really worth destroying these wonderful, beautiful creatures that are here? However, there is one that I absolutely detest, and it's this little bull, which I forget his name, but this bull is so annoying. He does appear 2 times throughout the game, and it's pretty much the same thing, but he is actually my least favorite of the Colossus. But each of the Colossus boss fights are actually very interesting, and they make you think, which I really do enjoy with the game. I do like sometimes to be handheld and sometimes given hints, but I would like to figure out the solution myself. So if you want something that is going to give you like a small nudge but won't tell you exactly what to do, I highly recommend this game. So let's go a little bit more into the characters. The game basically consists of these specific characters, including Wander, Mono, Argo, and the 16 different Colossus, which are very unique. I highly recommend you look more into them. Each of them has their own individual lore. Moving on, I want to look at the different components of the game, starting with the fights. I want to say that all of the fights, as I've said before, are very unique, and they're kind of contained in this self-made box, which I personally find to be a little bit more interesting because the environment really does play a role. Usually environments in video games, they're just there for the aesthetic, and sometimes they are utilized, but in this game you have to pay attention to your environment and you have to think on your feet. So there was the first boss that killed me, which was this kind of like lobster boss or like chameleon thing, where he climbs up a tower and you have to pay attention to the different parts of where he's glowing and how he's climbing, and you just really have to pay attention to the small details in order to defeat each of the bosses. Each of them are very interesting. Like, there's one that hides underneath the sand, there's one that climbs walls, there's one where you have to make sure you trample it over with some steam, another one you have to wait and be patient for the right opportunity to strike. And all of this is incorporated into your final fight. So every single Colossus that you've encountered, you learn one new mechanic. And finally, at the last boss, all of the mechanics that you've learned throughout the game go into this fight. And I just hit my mic. I think it's a great way to set up your game and in order to kind of lead your player into a final fight by just taking them step by step, teaching them a new mechanic slowly and slowly until you get to the final boss, where you get to incorporate all this knowledge to finally take down the last one. It's a very, very, very satisfying fight, and I like the way that they were able to build it up. So I want to go more into the sound, and I personally think that the sound is very pretty. The outer world, or the main hub, doesn't really have that much sound. It has, you know, the sounds of birds, it has the sound of Argo running through the wild, but when you actually get into the boss fights, that's when the music actually picks up. Each of the songs of the Colossal is unique and different specifically to them, which I think is great, because where the game lacks sound in the outer world, it makes up for those specific scenarios and really engrosses you into the fight, and I think that's wonderful. So what is my overall opinion? I personally think that this game really did live up to the hype. After this game, I actually started to look more into the lore, and I actually want to play the continuous games that kind of tie in to this franchise and see what it is about, because the ending was, oh my gosh, let me tell you, it was very heartbreaking. I personally thought when Argo fell into the bottomless pit, I thought Argo died. I cried. I actually show that on my previous video. If you've seen like me fighting the last Colossus, I actually cried. I felt emotion for this horse. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh. No, don't tell me. No. No, don't tell me, Argo. No.
Argo!
No! Ah, no! You know what? There's no point in living. There's no point in living if I can't have my horse. Because this horse has been through literally everything. Every Colossus, every fight, every terrain. This horse has seen everything. And plus, being able to carry not only Wander, but Mono, this horse was literally the greatest thing to come out of this game. And when she fell into, the pit, I felt intense emotion. I grew attached to this horse. So I say, I really do recommend this game. And I'll say, I'll probably replay it again just to see what I missed, because I feel like if I play this 4 or 5 times, there's going to be details that are still going to come up. And I believe that people are still trying to find out more about this game and how it ties to other games. So I would highly recommend it that you actually play this game. And if you have a PS4 that's able to run the HD remake in its full capacity, I highly recommend it because it's stunningly beautiful. The atmosphere is gorgeous. All of the characters are really nice, and the Colossus are very interesting fights that make you think. So, that's my review for Shadow of the Colossus. If I missed anything or you want to discuss what's your favorite part of this game, leave a comment down below and I'll try to reply to it as much as I can. And if anything, follow me on my social medias. I really do enjoy memes, and I really do enjoy discussing the different types of games that I play. And if there's anything that, you want to discuss with me, or anything that, that you really liked about this game, or if this game is your favorite, or if it isn't, come and explain to me why. And with that, I will see you all, hopefully in the next review, which is going to be Resident Evil 2. So thank you very much for coming and staying throughout this entire video. It's been kind of long, and it's going to be, it was probably a horrible editing mess, but I really do thank you all. I really thank you all for coming, and I hope you really enjoyed this review. This is my first review, so hopefully it goes well, and I will see you all on the next video. Bye everyone!